I have been asking y'all over the past couple of weeks to give to me your craziest confessions. Things you wanted to get off your chest, anonymous confessions. I'm just gonna warn you real quick, don't lose your head. Where's the rest of me? Who care? We're gonna go over your confessions. You guys are gonna speak them to me through the door. Or rather, you're gonna slip me a piece of paper through the door. And then we will go over it together, okay? Are you ready? Oh, we got a paper through the door. All right, number one, our first confession. All right, you ready? I have stolen those giant half-ply toilet paper rolls from bar bathrooms 3 times now, simply because I was out of toilet paper at home and it was free. I have questions. How do you get away with this? Is this sin forgiven, though? Will we forgive this sin? Pro stealing as long as it's justified and or funny. I'm reporting everyone here to the authorities for promoting stealing. Hey, we're not promoting stealing. We're just forgiving the sin of stealing. It's different. All right, what do we got next? As kids, my older brother and I found a plastic cricket bat. So to prove to him it wasn't as hard as a regular cricket bat, I hit him in the head, giving him a concussion. I also pushed him into a fan while pillow fighting, and he's afraid of pillow fights in his mid-20s because of that. Not really sorry about this. Am I a bad sibling? This is forgivable. How young were you, though? Forgivable. Sibling behavior. I have received a concussion from my sibling. I get it. I got hit in the head with a stapler as a kid, so I understand. I sentence you to baseball for your sin of wrath. It's forgiven. It's forgivable, but you have to go play some baseball now. Making someone who's used to cricket, well, perfect. Play baseball. One time, a bully of mine made me tutor them in math because my math marks were higher than theirs, and we had an upcoming exam. I agreed and taught them for the next 2 weeks in preparation for exams. They ended up failing the subject because I purposefully taught them the wrong things. Honestly, based. Dude, you get a seat in the church for that, man. Listen, they say you can't punch back. They told me that when I beat up that kid in in preschool, when I beat that kid in preschool because she was beating up my friends. They told me I couldn't hit back, but you know what? Make them fail. Hurt them in a way that matters. Bruises can heal, but not an academic record. When I was little, I wrote my phone number on a sticky note for others in my class to find. An annoying boy found it and asked people about it. I took it back by force because he wasn't worthy of it. This is a child version of blocking someone on Twitter. I don't know why you would take it back by force. I would just not do anything. You were little, so it's a mistake. You have been forgiven by the Church of P.O. I stole money when I was little from my mom, like $100. I felt guilty and then hid it in a basket at my aunt's house when I was visiting. Theft. They just framed the aunt for stealing the $100. Maybe not intentionally, but they definitely did frame their aunt, which is kind of crazy. Was their mom a jerk, though? I guess we don't know. While you didn't spend the money, you did nearly frame your aunt for it, which is not great. And also, it was $100, and I don't think you told your mom to repent for your sin of thieving from your mother. We're gonna send you to Peak. You're gonna learn how to use those grabby fingers to climb, dude. You're gonna learn how to climb the volcano. Give your mom $100. Yeah, also return the $100 back to your mom. I'm related to the guy who wrote Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Here Comes Santa Claus, and Peter Cottontail songs, Gene Autry. That's cool as hell. What? There's no way to verify if this is real or not. That's crazy, though. Crazy if true. Is this even a sin? I am extremely afraid of sea turtles. One time while swimming, I bumped into one, freaked out, and shoved my sister towards it. Now, I was gonna say that being afraid of sea turtles was not a sin, but sacrificing your sister towards the turtle is crazy. The church is pro-human sacrifice. I don't think the church is pro-human sacrifice, actually. But just like imagine you're just swimming one day and you're with like your sibling, right? And then you hear like a wah! And then they like push you into whatever they just ran from. And you're thinking, shark, 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 and then you look, it's a turtle. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is fine. But I think that you need to say sorry to your sister. And then watch some Finding Nemo. Being afraid of sea turtles is not a sin. I have an orange cat, and sometimes when I'm really hungry, I stare at him and imagine he's a giant piece of sashimi. I bet the cat's doing it back to you, though. Like, they're probably looking at you and thinking you're like a rotisserie chicken. We will forgive your sin of imagining that your cat is sashimi. Please get some food for yourself and your cat. Is a thought crime a sin? Not, Is it? I don't think it is. I feel in my books, I think action over thoughts. Otherwise, we're gonna scare a whole bunch of people who get intrusive thoughts. All right, you ready? All right, okay. I'm gonna try my best. I really like snacking. I think we're all guilty of it, but I have an issue with one of my favorite snacks, popcorn. Everything about popcorn is great. It's low in calories, it's crunchy, and you can eat a whole bunch of it all at the same time. But despite all this, there's a problem I keep having with it that has sometimes prevented me from buying it. I speak quite quickly, which means that when I rattle off about things, sometimes words can get mixed up or things can get misunderstood. And 90% of the time, this isn't a bother. It's normal, people understand. But when I speak quickly when talking about popcorn, I sometimes get the syllables mixed up and instead say popcorn. This has happened on numerous occasions. To my parents when I was younger, to my friends, and even to the cashier at the register when I'm buying popcorn. It's even worse for me now than it was before, because now I'm extremely aware of the fact that there's a 20% chance I'm not going to say popcorn in this situation. And whenever I want to buy popcorn, I start getting really in my own head to make sure I don't say cop porn. Which has sometimes made me blurt out cop porn because it's the only thing I could think about. Like some kind of self-fulfilling prophecy. This one's great. You are so brave to say this. I would never admit this. I don't even think this is a sin. This just seems like a misspeak to me. I feel like the public humiliation that they go through anytime they say cop porn instead of popcorn is probably worse than any punishment we could possibly give to them. You made me laugh and thus I forgive you. And that's all that matters. All right, you ready? I got my head in a fireplace and now I'm scared of my fireplace. But I eventually got over it, I hope. Now, why were you sticking your head in the fireplace? Were you going after Santa? I'm sorry you're scared of your fireplace. I think the only thing that we could possibly do to save you, though, is to send you to Mount Fae so that you are with the ice instead. You will learn to not be afraid of fireplaces or you will die to Mount Fae. I actually really like daylight savings time. I think standard time is the problem and should be abolished. Why is standard time the problem? It wasn't elaborated on. This is all I got. Why is standard time the problem? I do dislike going back and forth. I dislike daylight savings time. Going in on like a couple hours of sleep is never fun. Not a sin, just a strange opinion. Here we go. I confess. It was in fact me who kept stealing people's socks, forcing people to mismatch socks. We found him. We found the sock thief. Get him. Get him. Unforgivable. Sentenced to no socks. And also all of the Calicritters are grabbing their pitchforks and going after you. Alright, this one I know is cursed. While I was very active with Yu-Gi-Oh!, I was often asked to help newer players get to grips with the game to understand their deck, because I was patient enough to explain things to them and chill enough to let them play out their turns while gradually ramping up the difficulty. At first, I pretty much just let people win for a while to show them the ropes and give them a smaller taste of victory, a taste that they'll soon grow addicted to. But once they flip their switch and they start thinking that they have everything down and start trash-talking, that was my cue to actually start trying. And seeing the fire get snuffed out in their eyes as everything they once tried to do gets blocked, explaining to them that they cannot do anything to hurt my boss monster, watching them exhaust every avenue until they eventually broke down and surrendered left me feeling like a god. What do we think, guys? Can this be forgiven? All casual players are evil, exterminate newbies. No! 5 years community service being a locals judge. Oh, that is good. That's good, actually. That's your punishment. That's how you repent for your sin. Feeling like a god. You say this in front of Pio? You say this in front of Pio? You say this in front of Pio? You say this in front of our child who's staring directly at you? I pick my nose and eat it, and it's the superior way to do it. Not terribly hygienic here. 50 years in the Chuck E. Cheese's ball pit. I like how this changed from church confession thing to now we're sentencing like this is crimes. Like maybe I should have set up a court instead. I learned recently this is bad for your immune system, but I'm kind of in the trenches with them. You pick your nose and eat it? I don't always have tissues. Dude, I don't know, flick it? You flick boogers at people? No. I use the tissue, or if you must flick it, you flick it into a trash can. I sentence you to Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah, just go get a pizza while you're there. Okay, this person confesses that they are afraid of heights because they fell up a window when they were 5, and they still don't trust heights. We have a lot of people confessing their fears, which is very fascinating. So this is a forgivable sin. How is this a sin? The next confession, which I'm seeing it now, and I just feel fear. I don't even want to read this out loud, but that is a balloon that you're looking at. I don't want to read that out loud because I don't want that clipped. Please? I'll do it for some bits. No way you donated 100 bits to try to get me to say I'm into some mildly weird things. Whatever. Fine. The confession reads, I'm into some mildly weird things. I read the thing. You got it? I have a confession? Alright, Biscuit. Alright, Biscuit, you're up to bat. So I don't have to sit here with the I'm into mildly weird things above my head. Because it just looks like we're just discussing this one. When I was a child, I was in a recorder group. The teacher was late, and the other girls were messing around and not trying to work on what we were learning. The group goes to perform at the opera house, so it was an actual thing. I just got impatient and bonked one of the girls in the head with my recorder. It clearly hurt her, and I felt guilty after. I haven't told anyone this since. Do we forgive Biscuit? To be fair, I get it. I also played recorder as a kid, so I get it. Apologize to the recorder, though. Yeah, you need to apologize to the recorder for sure. Sent it to recorder concert. Hey, if I ever hold a concert, Biscuit, would you be willing to repent for your sin of hitting someone in the head with a recorder? Would you ever, if I ever held a concert, would you be willing to do a recorder solo for the concert? Yes, I could play violin better than recorder. Hey, either way works, but I do want to hear a recorder solo from you at some point. Next confession. One time in 4th grade, while I was on the swings, my friend pushed my other friend in front of me, and I accidentally kicked him in the face. I proceeded to laugh so hard that I fully pissed my school uniform khakis. It was a sobering moment, and I think I was able to hide the fact that I pissed my pants for the rest of the school day. Yeah, I think, yeah, you already kind of punished yourself. You pissed yourself laughing. If it makes you feel any better, there was one time my dad was coaching baseball, and a kid ran up to my dad at third base and said to my dad, I really need to go to the bathroom. And my dad's like, you think you could hold it? And the kid went, no, and just started pissing his pants in front of my dad. And my dad just went, when you run through home plate, I want you to slide. So the kid ran home and slid into home plate, and the dirt covered up the pee. When I was a kid, I peed my pants in kindergarten because they had a rule of no saving spots in line, but they only had 2 lunch lines for like 70 kids. So I didn't want to leave my spot in the line because you couldn't hold a spot for a friend, and they didn't, and because they'd think you're cutting. So I just peed right in front of the register, and then I hid out for a while the nurse looked for me. P-tuber returns. Don't call me a P-tuber. Don't call me Clova P. You've been forgiven because you've already punished yourself by pissing. Next confession. They want to eat Sprite-flavored lip gloss. You want to eat that too? Not a sin. Not a sin. I don't know about Sprite-flavored lip gloss, but I've definitely wanted to eat cherry-flavored lip gloss before. I have a chapstick now that has like a unicorn on it, and every now and then I'm like, ooh, I kind of want to eat that. For anyone who would like to confess anything, now is your time. You may confess. They're all from when I was a child. I was very much a goody two-shoes and never got in trouble, but one time I was messing around and was throwing this girl's hat around. In Australia, we all have to wear hats because the sun is a deadly laser. All was well until I threw it into another girl's meat pie. The girl whose hat it was started crying, and I felt so bad. I took the hat and washed it in the bathroom immediately, but got in trouble with the teacher after. I felt so guilty all weekend I was physically ill until I finally told my parents. It seems like you just got instant karma'd, honestly, Biscuit. Yeah, wait, why were you flinging the hat? You owe someone a meat pie and a hat, because kids did that, we were friends. Yeah, just flinging it around like a frisbee. The kid who had the meat pie was confused. So it sounds like the only person who was actually upset was the person with the hat. When I was in freshman year of high school, there was a greasy orchestra boy who had a crush on me. He would buy me 2 monsters every morning. Do I know who this is? And it gave me a massive caffeine addiction. He did it because he liked me, and I knew the whole time. He was alright, didn't like him back, but I did love the monster, so this went on for 6 months. I mean, I don't even think this is a sin. I just think this is crazy. That's 360 monsters you scammed him out of. He's evil, he got you addicted to caffeine. Yeah, if anything, he got you addicted to caffeine. If anything, you're the victim here. It's forgivable. I mean, like, yeah, he was trying to buy your affection with Monster Energy drinks, but if anything, you got fucked over by that because of the caffeine. Now, for my sanity, I think I know who it is, but I have to legally ask. Was this person a cellist by chance? Did they play cello? This was a cello player. I know who it is. I hope it was fun. Did you guys have fun? Did you like the confessions? I thought they were really silly. I thought they were great. You guys cooked.